Hey, we're back, everybody.
Welcome back to the Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode 13 review. This is Couples Couch with
Pat.
And I'm Cam. Let's get into last night's episode. This episode was insane, or was it?
It was alright. I got a lot of questions.
And the name of this episode was Unanswered Questions.
That's exactly what it left me with.
I have so many questions. So many questions about this episode. So let's just get right into it. So if you are new to our channel, this will be a high-level overview. We do not get into every nitty-gritty detail of what happened into the show. We only talk about what's important to the storyline of every couple. And I'm definitely not getting into everything because I don't feel very well. I'm under the weather. I feel like I got a headache, body aches, chills, earache, face ache. I'm not here for it. And no, I don't have COVID. I got my COVID shot.
Got
that doesn't...
one of two.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying.
You need your mask for this episode?
Yeah.
I also want to point out that my dedication is real to y'all. I feel like crap, but here I am. And
mine not so much. I almost didn't come. And I might not stay.
This was taking all COVID precautions.
You're not. Get your hand away from me. I'm gonna get the lights off.
Whatever.
Go on with the show. And just like the contestants on the show, I am contractually obligated to not wear the mask during filming.
And we shall begin.
My life is in danger.
So the show opens up with the couples having less than 3 weeks until decision day. So they just kind of show that this episode is going to be talking about a lot of unanswered questions, and the couples are now getting into their everyday routines where they're interacting and they may be getting on each other's nerves, which is very normal in marriage. And so they just keep with the fact that, marriage comes with a lot, and this is where you get to learn your partner, your spouse. So
9 years in, you're still learning.
They open the show with Virginia and Eric. Virginia's sister and her boys come by for a visit. They tell her that, Eric and Virginia tell her sister that they haven't gotten into very many arguments, but when they do argue, it's on big topics. I was thinking to myself, y'all just told a whole ass lie because y'all argue about everything.
Yeah.
What do you mean you only argue about the big topics? Is raising a dog a big topic? I don't feel good, y'all. I don't got the energy today.
You're too early. We ain't even got to that segment yet. You're breaking your own rules.
I know. I'm sorry. But that's what she tells them. And she says that, Virginia tells her sister that she has anxiety about their future and their living situation.
She got anxiety about not having a drink and everything else in life.
Literally. So then Eric decides to take her boys out front with the dog. And her sister says to Virginia, should I be okay with him being outside alone with my boys? And then Virginia takes a long, hesitation to respond. So this man is okay for you to lay down with and marry, but you're not sure if he should take your nephews out front to let the dog pee?
First of all, we're talking about Virginia. Laying down doesn't always come with the biggest restrictions, or that's not the word I'm looking for.
The biggest requirement?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, she seems like a couple shots, couple beers.
That's all it takes.
Anyway.
But to me, she played Eric.
Yeah,
she hesitated because he seems like everybody,
He's overly
protective.
Supervisory.
Yeah, so why would you even hesitate to be like, well... And
boys might come in there marching or
they might have
barking out
cadence.
Might have
some manners, when they come.
You just
need some one-on-one time.
If he wants his dogs to have manners, he gonna want them kids to have manners.
Them kids gonna come back acting right. And
Republican.
I just felt like she played him in that moment, and that kind of irritated my spirit. But then again, like I said, I haven't felt well, so everything's going to irritate me.
Yo, she's a 17-year-old caught in a 26-year-old's body.
1,000%. And that was all they had for that scene, and I'm moving on.
No, she's like...
Oh, you have more?
She's like a 17-year-old who is 27 caught in a 47-year-old's body.
From how she looked. Next scene shows Brianna and Vincent. They are in their apartment putting their budget together, their monthly expenses, and pretty much creating a budget for what they can and can't afford. And they start tacking on things for like clothes. She said, what, $400 for clothes? And he was like, $400 for clothes? And I'm thinking to myself, Brianna, what are you buying for $400 a month? Because everything I see you wear is definitely giving Dee Dee's discount. Like, see nothing here that look like Zara's or Nordstrom.
And Vincent, the size of Vincent's clothes make it look like he getting hand-me-downs from somebody a lot smaller than him. I know he like, I ain't trying to spend no money on clothes.
He's looking at her like, I don't even be buying clothes.
I wore this shirt as junior in high school.
And it's still giving him life right now.
Yeah, he's like, I'm
like,
cut slits in the side and I'm good.
They even go into dates. She was like $250 for a date. And he was like,
come on.
So let's say we should budget for $200 a month for entertainment.
That's one date. Isn't it?
Okay, just put $350 a month.
Jeez.
I looked at you because I would never. What are we eating or doing for $250 for one date? Knowing what our bills look like, I wouldn't be able to eat the food good knowing that got a bill at the house that this could go towards. Or, you know what I mean? I'm not saying we couldn't do something, but not $250 in one sitting. Like, we could be doing something home improvement wise, like we could do extra flowers.
That's how you get on a boat decorated with Christmas.
Something for the garden. We got kids. Like, I just wouldn't, my spirit wouldn't digest that meat good at the table knowing that we got...
It's going to digest some meat for $250.
In one sitting too? Like, hell no. She's tripping. She's living in Fantasy Island. She on the wrong show.
You already know how I got. I told you we start cutting up. I was like, look, $250 a month for dates. What was the wedding
She
for?
said that's one
that
date.
was your big date. Now you just get, if we can go get something to eat together. You know, we can go watch a movie together, but we don't go on dates no more. After the wedding.
Yeah. I mean, we if we get a babysitter and we want to do something nice, we still be like, man,
I would rather
let them take the kids.
I would much rather drop the kids off somewhere, come home and chill around the house the way I want to chill.
And just be one with my thoughts. That's where I'm at with it too. Or one with our thoughts for a few minutes. Then we can...
You gonna play me for...
I'm sorry.
On TV?
I'm sorry.
Get off me.
Oh yeah, that's right. You don't want the COVID as you think I have.
You seem to have perked up now. You don't
No,
seem
my
sitting
head is
up.
actually killing me. But no, so I just really think that her ideas of, you know, it's just not realistic. When you become a married unit, you have responsibilities, and a major responsibility is not $250 on date night. That's a lot.
I don't care about nothing. I need to see.
And you don't have a house.
I need to see W-2s.
Yeah. So I may have skipped. I may have skipped over this, but their total monthly expenses came to over $9,000. They were at like $9,127.50. And my mind was completely blown because I'm like, okay, you don't have kids, so childcare is not there. You don't have a home, like a mortgage is not there. I saw rent for $1,700. was the first line item.
Wait,
I
were
did
they
see
counting that twice? Because I didn't see $9,000 worth of bills when they
Unless
scanned.
we were missing some line items in the middle. They did show the bottom, they did show the top, but we didn't see what they had in the middle. I did see like personal maintenance came in like $405 if you tack in the $350.
Whatever. Like I said, I need to
$250
see numbers because this seemed like one of them applications when they be like, "What are your bills?"
She might need Intuit. You know that financial software because her formula is. Let me tell you how to work this. Vincent, hit that cell and hit the
Vincent
equal
ain't
sign.
working that. Vince still sitting there like
Do
this.
auto sum and make sure she did this
Vince is still sitting there like this.
Her calculation ain't right. Check that formula because 9,000. She's getting something somewhere.
Yeah, I didn't
mixed up.
see. She got a, like you said, she got a cell calculated wrong or something. It's
So
not.
so as soon as Vincent saw that the total amount was like 9,000 something, he was like, maybe we could just cut back on eating out. Maybe we could just stay in the house because we do have pool table and we got TVs. He's like, yo, we could chill at the crib. Like,
But
we don't need to-
here's what I want to understand.
What?
Were they talking about what they currently make?
Yes.
Okay, then one, I need to see a W-2. Because who's validating, who's verifying these
I want to
numbers?
see a W-2.
Yeah.
Your adjusted gross income.
Yeah, from last year. Last year's W-2.
I did see that
and
they had
also,
each other's salaries
listen,
on
if we
there,
talk
too.
about relationships, I would like to see your credit score.
This one want to see credit.
I want to see a
score.
credit report. No, I don't want to see a score. I want to see a report.
And we don't want to see Credit Karma because that be extra. Credit
Wow.
Karma give
No,
you
that's
extra
what I'm saying.
points.
People be walking around, I got a 793. No,
I'm
you
not
don't.
on Credit Karma.
No, you don't.
I
No,
want
you-
to see that Experian
Yeah, go
and
apply.
Equifax.
Go apply for something. Let it kick back to what it is.
I'm
At the
starting
car
off.
dealership. Oh, I know I got 800. Look, you can see it on
Says
my
Credit
app
Karma.
right here.
Says Credit Karma.
But yeah, we're gonna need a deposit.
And the last thing is that after, he mentioned just staying in the house and just chilling out because that number was looking wild crazy to him. He
I
was
still
like,
don't believe the numbers.
Brianna automatically started to look unhappy. She said that she still wants to be courted.
She always she got them teeth shut.
My head can't take. She said she still wants to be courted in this marriage while being married. Like,
Damn,
she still take her out, surprise her. And, while that sounds
For what?
a very Hallmark Channel-ish, it's like, it's not realistic. I'm not saying that you cannot have date nights in a marriage. You do need to have alone time. But he's going to get... You got to be intentional on the courting because I can give you a small example. Me and Patrick will get out the car and walk into a store, and the last thing Patrick is thinking about is what do they call it when you like open doors?
Chivalry.
Yeah. So if I ain't getting to the store first, he's like,
Nah.
"Where you at?"
Nah, I just listen.
Oh my god!
I listen to what you and what women say. They're like, I'm independent. Okay.
I am. Yeah.
Open your door.
It's true. I really don't require you to open my door.
I'm not going
I
to.
don't.
And what stores are you going into that the door doesn't open automatically?
Hobby Lobby.
If you need to open the door,
It don't open automatically at Hobby Lobby.
Jesus is supposed to open that door for
It's a
you.
Christian store. I'm moving on to the
Go to
next
Chick-fil-A and then go to Hobby Lobby. All the doors will be opened by
and
Jesus.
we'll be at peace. Bye. Let's go on. I'm done. I can't. The next few scenes show Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper meeting up with each of the couples to answer any of their final unanswered questions. The first couple they meet with is Virginia and Eric. Pastor Cal meets with Virginia. She talks to him about Eric's desire to have kids. Virginia says she has a fear of being pregnant and also a fear of being a bad mom. She fears that she may do something wrong to screw up her kids. And what was funny to me was Pastor Cal said, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to do something to screw up your kids. That's just, there's no perfect way to parent. And I thought that was very funny because it's like, you don't intentionally do anything to screw up your kids, but there's no perfect way to parent. There's no rule book. There's no guidebook. What are you about to say?
As soon as somebody brought any kind of refrain from drinking up,
Well, we didn't get there. We're talking about parenting.
I know. I was going to say, wait and see her reaction. And that tells me right there her fears. I think she fears she can't stop drinking.
To be a good parent.
To be pregnant, let alone after to be a good parent. She knows how she drinks.
You may be onto something.
I am, because I know everything. But for the show, I mean, she knows. Here's the thing. She's so outlandish with what she thinks is right and wrong and acceptable in a relationship that I have to feel she knows it's wrong. And she wants to push the limit to see what you're going to stay around for.
You may have a point. You may have a point. Eric meets with Dr. Pepper and he describes to her how much he loves Virginia and their connection that they have is so great. Eric also tells Dr. Pepper how Virginia's dog Rocky needs training and Virginia is closed off to him helping her and allowing him to be a dog dad. Dr. Pepper asks Eric, why do you need to be this dog's dad?
Why do you need to be that dog's dad?
Because if we're going to make this marriage work, I have to be a part of his life.
What if this was her child from a previous marriage? And you say I'm going to now take an equal place with that child. That's not okay.
I really love this question because it's why are y'all so hung up on this dog dad?
We're talking about dog, right?
We're talking about a dog. And it's you're forcing yourself.
We talk about a dog, not like somebody's homeboy.
He's
whoop, dog, right?
He's if we're going to be together, I have to be a part of his life. Not true, my friend. Dallas is here and alive and active. And of course, I will never allow him to starve. And I will never allow him to not be able to go out and potty. I definitely do those things when Patrick is not
damn right
around.
You won't allow him to. Because if we ever break up, you pay child support on Dallas.
Dog support?
Yep.
That's a damn lie.
Well, that's how they sound.
I'm I am here for Dallas from afar because I am not a dog mom. That's not my thing. That's not my zhuzh. But I will be there to allow him. Y'all let him out. I'll put food in his bowl, put water in his bowl. But I'm not about to be Patrick, why aren't you allowing me to be the dog mom I'm supposed to be to Dallas? We're together. I need to be a part of his life. I could give two craps. Really.
Because we have two real kids.
That take a way more
Sorry.
attention.
I'm about to get killed, man.
I'm
know, sorry.
And I know people love their fur babies and these are their children and blah, blah. I get that. But it's not the same because it's just not the same.
Until you push a kitty out your kitty, I ain't going for it.
That's facts. That's all facts. It's not the same. It's not. You do have to care for them and you do love them, but it's not the same like children. And you just need to stop forcing the issue. And I'm so glad Dr. Pepper told him about himself. Leave the damn dog alone.
Put kibbles in it when she asks. Other than that, leave it alone. Y'all got other problems. Why don't you work on the drinking?
Yeah.
Leave the dog. Leave Rocky out of this. And worry about y'all's Rocky issues. Can you do that?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And they went on to talk about... Then they went on to talk about Dr. Pepper and Eric about her drinking. She was saying, do you honestly think that her drinking more than a few glasses of wine or whatever is okay, of alcohol? And he's honestly, no, I don't think it's okay. She was well, maybe you can challenge her to not drink for a while so you guys can have clear communication. Because anytime you have communication or conversations while alcohol is present, it's not gonna be good.
Listen, let me break this down for you. I have extensive training in this with my degree from the University of Phoenix.
I cannot.
I'm not playing.
I know that's where your degree is from. Just laughing. Go ahead.
Okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
So the reason Eric wanted to control Rocky is because, like he has said out of his mouth many a time,
is
your dog is just like you. So him controlling Rocky is him controlling her or trying or wanting to control
Trying to wrangle
her.
Yeah,
Right.
like wrangle her.
Now peep game.
Okay.
Because this is how a manipulator would think.
Okay.
So the doctor's telling him, leave the dog alone. He's not going to argue with the doctor.
Dr. Pepper.
But then, maybe due to editing, Dr. Pepper goes into something else that gives him control.
Which is the drinking.
Which is the drinking. Whether she needs help with her drinking or not, what Dr. Pepper just tossed him was another control tool.
Yeah.
He can go back, and he goes back.
Yeah. And
We need to work on your drinking.
Yeah.
And then here's what you need to do to meet my standards for what it's gonna give him another avenue. He is controlling, he's manipulating. Here's the problem. He uses realistic expectations in a wedding in a marriage to get her going the way he's manipulating her. But he's using solid stuff to do it with.
So he is justified?
No, he's not justified.
No, wrong word? Okay.
He's using justifying topics or issues.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
To
Like
kinda wrangle
not
her.
going out with your friends every weekend, I believe is a realistic. In Dr. Pepper with her, there's 4 weeks and schedule 1 weekend with your wife. I get 1 weekend. Your friends will get 1 weekend.
Yeah.
You're going to be home sitting in front of this TV watching The Late Show with me, whether you like it or not. That's just how marriages work. You can't be out in the streets all the time and build trust.
Or you're for the streets.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's
True.
ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know what Dr. Pepper was thinking about when she said you ask her for 1 weekend out of the month, so then her friends gets 3 weekends. Like, first of all, I don't even know why you have to be scheduling weekends with your wife. Like, that to me is also crazy as well. It's like, if we want to do something, we do something. Your friends come secondary.
Always.
Yeah.
I don't care what you got planned with your friends.
Friends come secondary.
You know what I mean? There would have to be something. Like, when I missed that really important football tournament, remember that time because you was sick?
I went to the emergency room. That's when I learned I had vertigo.
So you can't keep your balance, and now I don't get to play in the biggest tournament of the year?
You know what?
I never got to play in that tournament again. 2 knee surgeries later, and I'll never get that tournament back.
And I still got vertigo.
Because you can't keep your balance.
You know what? I'm moving
The
on.
room is spinning. Close your eyes.
Next scene, Clara and Ryan meet up with the experts. First, Ryan meets with Dr. Pepper. Ryan tells Dr. Pepper that there is an instant connection between him and Clara, and he doesn't see really any lows in his marriage at all. Dr. Pepper directly then asks him, so you guys are still waiting on intercourse?
Dr. Pepper was looking at it the whole time he's giving his book report on their marriage. She's like,
aren't y'all still waiting on intercourse though?
Yeah, so, but y'all...
Explain that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So then she says, he does say that. And then she says, so how do you think that makes Clara feel? This could come off as rejection or even a lack of commitment because you don't want to take it there. And this could also be a bigger elephant in the room than you know, is what she says to him. There's got to be a method behind this madness. I don't understand.
He is on the show. He getting his little tallywhacker play with every night, and
that is true. I almost forgot that. Yeah. So she did reveal that she is doing that for him every night.
Scary.
Something's going on there, but I love the way Dr. Pepper was trying to drop some tea without dropping the full tea. Like, I think there's a bigger elephant in the room than you know.
No, he know. Like, you
can't not know. So next, Clara goes to see Pastor Cal, and Pastor Cal asked her, to rate your marriage out of 1 out of 10. Where is your marriage at? And she says it's at a 10. And he gives her that old face like, and then they cut to a scene where he's like, the best marriages, have problems. They fall out with each other. They get sick of each other. They make up. And I'm like, this preacher is preaching.
Scale of 1 to 10, where do you think you are at this point?
I would say 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
This is the best relationship I've ever had, that's for sure.
The best relationships have arguments,
Yeah.
get made up, You're sick of each other. Now you're okay. If there are challenges, if there are issues, we want to bring them out.
Nobody has a 10 for a marriage.
I do.
You lying like...
I know.
Nobody has a 10. Like,
I think
10 is perfection. Tell us 10 is a Hallmark Channel movie.
Yeah.
Right? You can't. We're human.
It's not possible.
It's just not. 10 is like Jesus and whoever.
You're not gonna put my Jesus with just anybody.
Well, that's the only way you're gonna get perfection out of that. Like, honestly, there's no way. Why you gave me the side eye though?
You over there throwing rocks at the COVID, and now you talk about Jesus with anybody.
I'm not saying anybody.
That's exactly what you said. Don't take it back now, because you get scared over there.
I'm just saying that's the only way you're going to achieve perfection is to be married to Jesus. There's no way. There's just no way. Like, you lying, and just last week's episode, you was going off AWF about him.
Is she 6 to 7 from getting a 10?
Thank you. And then Pastor Cal, so he didn't, he wasn't believing that crap. And then he directly asked, what you say?
Kamara truly didn't get it.
I didn't get it. Say it again.
I said she's about 6 to 7 from getting a whole 10.
I'm done. I didn't catch that when you said nasty. You're a nasty little man.
Little? You better quit playing. Turn this YouTube into OnlyFans.
Wait a second.
You're not gonna I got a reputation to uphold in these streets.
Okay, my bad. Let's move on. Pastor Cal wasn't buying her foolishness, like I was saying.
Nobody is.
And he directly asked her, like, okay, so have you consummated the marriage? And I don't need full details. Just tell me a yes or a no. And she was like, well, we're just taking it slow. Knowing good and hell well, she is dying on the inside.
Well, she about a month from jumping on Pastor Cal. He asked that question. So have y'all consummated the wedding? Are you offering? She a couple weeks to a good month by decision day. There's gonna be more than one decision going on. I'm telling you, she's like
my head is brilliant.
Cats in heat.
Are you done?
Rising there for sure. I don't know what's wrong for sure.
You can see in her face that she is in pain.
She want to cry.
Her face is like, we're a 10. Bitch, what?
Hey, it's nice to see you, Pastor Cash.
Suck you in the bushes. I'm literally like burning up. I'm talking to the fuck?
You on fire, all right. Liddy.
I am like sweating through my clothes. I'm for sure my fever has gone up.
Mine sure has.
All right, let's do this.
That's what you just said.
Stop. Next scene, Virginia returns home, or I'm sorry, Eric returns home to Virginia. She's sitting in the kitchen on the counter, which is unsanitary, by the way.
Come on, be yelling at me for putting my elbows on the table.
I got mine too, but that's just unsanitary. But she's sitting on the counter, and he walks in, and he begins to talk about his conversation he had with Dr. Pepper and the advice that he received. And he said that Dr. Pepper told him to let the situation with Rocky go. Let it go. And she was so excited. She was so happy to hear that he got that bit of advice to leave the dog alone. But then he moved on to say, well, Dr. Pepper also told me that we need to not have drinking involved when we are having conversations. When it's serious stuff, we need to not have drinking involved.
We just need to make sure like we're both like we're good. Like there's no alcohol involved. There's nothing. It's just me and you, real. Nothing that's gonna hinder that. Okay.
One of the biggest takeaways I had, at least, is just kind of my fears with the kids stuff.
I don't want to talk about that.
She immediately shut down and fell out with him. She was like, we're not talking about that. So let me tell you about the situation with the kids. Completely switched the subject. Eric, I'm telling you now, if that ain't a red flag for you, then you's a whole fool.
Yep.
Because for her to not even want to address it is a huge red flag city. You've just entered red flag city.
Right. And the fact that she doesn't want to even discuss her giving up drinking
For a minute, for one conversation.
To the point that she immediately jumps into a topic she knows is decisive between the two of them.
Right.
She willingly jumped into that to get out of the drinking conversation.
Yes.
Then once in...
Yeah. So the topic she talks about that she does switches to him on is having kids. And Eric reconfirms that, not having kids is a deal breaker for him. And she was like, well, what if I can't have kids and all that stuff? And he's like, I will not leave you if you can't have kids. Which,
time out. And I don't like... She's
manipulating
manipulating the situation.
Manipulative people.
Because what if I can't have kids? Have you had tests and this is factual?
Right.
Because if it is, I understand you're going through it and it's your health and blah, blah, but if we're getting married and I want to have kids and for a fact you can't have kids, you need to let me know that
ASAP, Robbie.
So that I can make an informed decision on whether I want to stay with this. Like,
if this is what you want for your life.
Yeah, you don't trick people out of having an experience like that. Like, if you can't have children, you need to let and they want to have kids.
So they can figure out other options, not necessarily leaving you.
Yeah, but they can figure out if they want to give that up or not. Like, it's not,
or find alternatives, like maybe a surrogate. You know what I mean?
They might not be into that.
That's true too.
But they should have the opportunity. If you if there's people that get married and get together and then they find out they can't have kids and you can't have kids, do you think you should have to tell your significant other once you all have made the choice to take it down that road? Like, if you're just dating, why the hell do you need to know we're wearing protection anyway?
Right.
But once you are married in this case, or in the real world, like once you all start dating or getting serious or get engaged, like, do you think you should let that person know if you are not able to? Yeah, that's right.
Drop it in the comments below. What was your question? Your full question again? Do you need
to
let your spouse know?
Yeah, if you know that you cannot have children, once you all decide that marriage is in the plans or could be, do you think that you should tell them that you can't have kids, or is that your business?
Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. We'd love to hear what you guys think on that. But I think she did try to manipulate the situation to say, well, what if I can't have kids? Are you going to leave me then? And he was like, of course I'm not going to leave you because you cannot have kids. But we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it. And then she kind of get all teary-eyed.
But that's not, because that's not the bridge they're crossing. She started out saying she doesn't want to have kids.
But she did get happy when she heard that, and she got all teary-eyed and loved him all over again.
Because that gives her a tool in her
back pocket.
Yeah, like, I can use this when I don't want to have kids. I can just tell him I can't have kids.
Exactly.
He's going to fold.
Exactly. So then, after they got back good with each other in that conversation, they hit on the topic of weekend plans, because that was another conversation Dr. Pepper and Eric had. And he tells her that she needs to consider canceling things so she can have time with him on the weekends. And she was like, well, that's going to really annoy me if you expect me to cancel plans with my friends because I plan stuff weeks in advance. And then she said that, or he said, you should be open to telling your friends, sorry, I can't because I have to hang out with my husband. You should be open to that. And immediately she fell out with him again. And I'm like, come on, chick. Like, how do you not know that your husband takes priority over friends? Even if your husband is just like, yo, you was about to go do this, but I really wanted us to run to Home Depot and grab this and that and that and this and whatever. You go with your husband. I mean, he shouldn't have to beg or ask you to cancel.
I'm not going to.
Or ask you to, or for him to put himself on your schedule weeks in advance, or it's going to annoy you. That's out of. This goes back to the.
I'm not scheduling
the PTO
nothing.
That she want, the marriage PTO.
If it's even close between me and somebody else,
excuse me,
then you could go with them.
Yeah,
I'm either miles ahead.
Yeah.
Or we not like I'm not even in the same race as nobody else.
Right.
If you put me in the race with them,
yeah,
then I'm gonna disqualify myself. They
Remove
can have
me
that.
from the equation is what you're
I'm
trying to say.
I'm not competing with nobody for my wife's attention.
Heck no.
Crazy.
No. Ryan returns home to Clara to talk about his discussions with the experts. He asks Clara what are her thoughts on religion with the kids. And Clara says she doesn't want her kids to go to church because they are forced to. She wants to keep the door open for them to choose their own religion as they get older. I can't really read Ryan's face in this moment because his parents are both ministers. So I know he's strong. He has a strong feeling about it, but he doesn't really reveal it too much. He wasn't very clear on how he feels. He's giving the face that Patrick's giving right now. It's just like he don't really want to touch that topic too tough is how I felt about it.
Yeah, he's gonna try to raise him in the church no matter what.
Yeah, that's where he wants to do.
So
That's what he knows.
I don't understand why he's not telling her that right
yeah,
now.
just keep it 100. So anyways, then he moves on to the next question, which Dr. Pepper told him to ask was, what is Clara's feeling on sex?
I know you well enough to know that the more it's pushed, the farther it gets away. So I'm a little sexually frustrated, but I also have a lot of respect for you. Do you see that happening anytime soon?
I don't know.
So
She won't.
she asked him though, when do you think that we will have this? Will it happen anytime soon? And he still says, I don't know. But I do want to point out the fact that when Clara was talking to Pastor Cow, she did mention that Ryan has had relationships that last months and even years where sex was not happening. That just wasn't what was going on for him and them.
How old is he?
I know.
27?
29.
29. It's been going on for 29 years. Every relationship has gone on with no sex.
This episode is called Unanswered Questions, and I still have so many questions on how this all worked out.
Yo, and she's full of it too by saying
she's so full of it.
Everybody grown now, bro. Yeah. Like you might not get it on the first date or maybe the first couple of days, but ain't nobody holding out for months and months and no.
I don't know,
but grown people.
Ryan is definitely giving me.
You don't know.
No.
You gonna hold out for months?
Ryan is giving me the Steve Harvey book vibes to how to act like a man.
Getting the Ellen DeGeneres book.
Think like a man, but act like a woman. He's giving me that book vibes.
Thinking like no man. I think like a woman, act like a simp.
He's definitely giving me that because in that book, if you've read it, Steve Harvey does talk about holding out. On
too bad he couldn't hold out.
I can't even refute it because it's facts. It's all facts that you spin. So, but he does tell you how, in the first few months, have standards and requirements and things that you wouldn't do, and holding out on sex and stuff. So maybe Ryan's reading that book and he's like, I'm gonna be a strong woman here.
I'm supposed to read this dude book about having.
Huh?
I'm supposed to read his book and he couldn't even do it.
Okay. This ain't about Steve Harvey now. We just saying Ryan's probably reading that book. That's all I'm thinking because I don't know what else.
Ain't written in no book written by a man. Once you're married, wait to sleep with your wife.
That's true because that book was about when you first meet your potential person.
But Ryan does look like a dude that would have to read a book about sex.
Oh, God. Let's move on to the next scene.
It's natural, bro.
Especially when you're married. Let's
You're
move on
supposed
to
to
the
just
next
know
scene.
how to do it or have an idea.
Let's move on to the next scene. Are you done?
I've been done with Ryan.
Paige now meets up with Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper immediately apologizes to her and says that, they had absolutely no clue what was going on with Chris behind the scenes. She does call Chris, Dr. Pepper, does call Chris a narcissist and said that she's not about to mince words about him anymore. Like, she's just too through. And then she also says that Paige says she doesn't understand why Chris would sign up for this process if he wasn't going to be 100% in. And then again, Dr. Pepper called him a narcissist and said that, he only thinks about himself. That's why. Dr. Pepper says that this experience should teach Paige that to have certain boundaries and what not to accept.
Yep.
And they did tell her to read the Steve Harvey book, Think Like a Man. My head is hurting. I can't even laugh. But act like a woman. I'm just kidding.
Cause you just watched the movie?
With Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
And Wendy Williams. All right, let's move on to the next scene. She wasn't there. She was Kevin Hart's wife. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next scene. So now Chris is supposed to meet up with Pastor Cal at 7 p.m.
I don't think Chris is going to show up. Okay. Are we wrapping? Yes. Okay.
Pastor Cal sitting there yawning. He's like, I'm not young for this. Sitting here waiting for people.
Pastor Cal better than me. Cause
It now is 7:43, and he still ain't showed up.
I know where I'd already had a Slurpee in my hand at the 7-Eleven.
And right when Pastor Cal says, so we're about to wrap, then Chris shows up. And he, like I said, he better than me because I would have done left.
I'd have waited
Long
till
time
he
ago.
got there and I walked out on him.
Yeah. I would have been like, oh, you coming here? We're done here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have waited extra time for him to show up.
We in the A, right? Peace
So I
up,
could watch it.
A-Town down.
A-Town stomped my way out the door.
Yeah. Usher? Luda?
U.S.
H-E-R. Okay, anyway, so then
Go back to the bushes.
Pastor Cal sits there and decides to talk to him. He's so nice. He does stay and talk to him. And he says to him, honestly, what was it about Paige? Why you just couldn't connect? And he was like, it was the face for me.
I think it would have to be the physical features, like the face.
Besides her physicality, give me something about her that really you just did not like.
I wasn't attracted to the face. And I'm not being disrespectful here, but there's so many beautiful, black queens, white queens, Hispanic queens here in the city of Atlanta, and I just feel like it shouldn't be hard to find somebody that's, because I'm not that picky, but no, I
Chris,
but
you're not that picky.
Y'all, out of all the millions of women here, y'all picked the one that was just like...
How do you say somebody's face, though, is just not there for you? He says, this is Atlanta, and out of all the black queens and white queens and Hispanic queens...
He threw those other ones in there so you don't get caught up.
Yeah, we ain't stupid.
I heard the emphasis.
Yeah, and he was like, and that's who y'all chose for me. It's just like, when you look at her, it's like, ugh. And I was like, oh, the disgrace.
This dude think
the humiliation.
This dude really think he that dude.
He really believes that he's
not
that
that dude.
Like, how can you sit here and talk to somebody, or talk about somebody when you look like this?
My sister.
I just can't stop yelling like, that's awful. Pastor Cal felt some kind of way because he was like, come on, man.
Hey, bro,
like,
do you see the patch of bumps on the side of your cheek?
Donkey of the day goes to Chris. Like, why would you say that?
Female hips and knock knees. The only time you would ever be a 10 is as a prison bride.
I've been waiting for you to come in here because you look dusty and your hair's uneven. You remember that? I thought it was something
Scared straight.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
You look dusty
and your hair's uneven. And if that ain't the truth about Chris, because I cannot take the way those pieces is on
That's
end.
because he tried to have the little slope with the... He put the
But
the
want
slit
to
in
talk
it
about
and
Paige?
slope it
That
up.
ain't fair. That ain't fair at all.
Well, they cut to the next scene where she
But
got
we're
on
not
that
there
pink.
yet. Let's hold off.
We've been there already.
Let's hold off.
That
let's finish
that
talking
look
about-
is infamous. That look has already been talked about. You can't get me from going ahead in the script.
Pastor Cal explains that this process has been very painful for Paige and wants Chris to realize that how he handles relationships just ain't right. Pastor Cal said this hasn't been Chris's finest moment or finest hour, and Chris almost begged to differ. And he was like, well, yeah, you're right. Okay, it wasn't my finest moment. And then he believed, though, that he did handle this situation to the best of his ability. If this is your best, I don't want to see you at your worst. But then Pastor Cal went on to say that, you're married and you just bought your ex a car. And Chris said, well, that was on Paige. She could have came with us to get the car. And then Pastor Cal...
And this is your best.
That's when the glasses broke out.
That's when he got a little shady.
He didn't know what to do. He was like, Lord, did he just say that she could...
He threw some shade.
He did, but it was the glasses for me. He just couldn't take it no more. The glasses started going everywhere.
Pastor Cal was like, well, listen, if it don't work, if it ain't working, and you've had multiple engagements.
Yes, he shaded him.
Yeah,
Did shade him.
You've had multiple engagements.
He did shade him.
And you need to get into the next one.
Chris did throw out another, are you serious? Was when he said he also plans to buy Mercedes a house. On top of it, he was like, I want my
he's going to be living in that house and driving that Mercedes.
He plans to be with her.
Yes.
It's clear. It's clear. So when Pastor Cal shaded him about, you've had multiple engagements, you aren't making good decisions, you need to be realizing what you're learning from this, he started to get jammed up in the conversation and couldn't fight his way through and then shut down. It's like, I really don't know what we're doing here. Where is this conversation going?
Talks his way in circles and around and then
gets out of it.
But Pastor Cal ain't for it.
He's old school.
It don't even make sense, bro.
He's old school and he done seen some things and he been here way before you. So he done jammed you up and now you want to get out of the conversation and try to be like, well, I don't really know. I just want to be done with this. Okay. I'm sure you do because you look like a fool.
Yeah, I couldn't have a conversation with Chris.
Yeah. And then lastly, Pastor Cal said, at the end of the day, the one thing that you should at least do is apologize to Paige. And he's like, I really just can't do that. Chris said.
He's not man enough for that.
The fact that he said he could not apologize to this girl.
Tells you everything you need to know. He's a coward.
So that's how that scene ends. And then they flip to showing Paige going back to her apartment. Pack up. And right when she begins to tell us how disappointed she is and the fact that, he never even came and stayed one night in the apartment, that's when the wig was back. And that part, I was like, Paige, why they do you like this, girl? Or why you do yourself like this? That wig came back for round 2 and made a scene in the scene.
Like a piece of bubblicious bubble gum.
I don't care about the shirt. It's the wig for me.
It's not the wig. It's the whole look.
Yo,
that's right when he basically called the girl ugly, and then they showed that video.
In the next scene. That was awful. That was terrible.
That was not cool.
And that was awful of herself to show up on set like that. Where is the makeup crew? The production? Don't you get the
CGI?
I'm like, come on, help a sister out. out with this look.
Yeah,
so yeah, I didn't hear nothing she said in that scene. I was too busy looking at that part. It was so overplugged and so tilted, and everything in me just wanted to come to the screen and get a little black pencil to fill in the...
Go to the next.
Okay, sorry, I'm getting too deep. All right, let's move on to the next scene. You know it's bad when you tell me to go. Next scene, Vincent meets up with Pastor Cal. Pastor Cal asks him, so like, what's going on? What are some of your challenges that you're facing? And Vincent says like their communication sometimes can be challenging. Brianna can be narrow-minded at times, and his attention span is very short. So at least he kept it 100 there. And then Vincent tells Pastor Cal that Brianna wants him to wake up early. And a lot of times he's very tired and he feels bad. So he just wakes up, you know, but he really wants to sleep longer. And should he feel bad to tell her that, you know, I want to sleep? I'm like, man, listen, I wish Patrick would come and wake me up just to do what? Look at you? Like, if we don't have plans to do something, please let me sleep for a little bit. I'm not saying I want to sleep till noon.
If I do want to sleep till noon, that's my business. You're not going to tell me when I can't sleep. I don't care.
You in my business?
If I'm tired, I'm tired. If we're going to breakfast, or if we got to get the kids ready for school,
like if we have
or
plans.
something like that. But if I don't have no plans and you want me to get out of the bed because you feel it'll make me more productive.
Awake, you can get more done in the daytime. Like,
all right, well, wake up 2 more hours earlier and sit there and think about why you should leave me the hell alone.
Right. I do understand if like the person's sleeping till like 2, 3 o'clock, noon. Like, okay. Like,
if they handling their business and they not infringing on nothing you got going on with them. If you're at
they're
work,
really tired.
Yeah,
too.
if you're at work and you sitting there calling me to see if I'm up by noon.
Yeah.
If my bills are paid and I'm working, why are you calling me?
And other things too is like, okay, if
so I'm get your dry cleaning, you gotta
if
be
I'm not out
biscuit.
Drinking and coming in from clubs late night and doing all kind of foolishness, and I'm sleeping late, then that's one thing.
If I'm coming back from work late, like he said, and I'm tired, I'm gonna sleep, and I ain't even gonna ask you. I'm not even gonna care what you think.
Exactly.
Cause I'm asleep.
Yeah, she's being a little extra on this. Like, let the man sleep, please. You know, he already got to deal with the world. You need to be his peace.
You want him out there working till late at night so he can take you on $250 dates, but you
can't
don't want to
get
sleep?
To sleep.
Hell out of here.
You can't have everything.
If you that high strung and motivated, then you need to go down to the community college and take a class and how to leave me the hell alone.
Alright, so then Brianna goes and meets with Dr. Pepper, and Brianna says that Vincent is a very kind soul. She's so happy that she got that, you know, as a characteristic in
but
him.
I want to change him.
Yes. And Brianna says that their challenges tend to be that Vincent tends to bottle up his feelings, but it's all over his face. His face needs deliverance. Like, you can see it that as soon as he gets mad. And then they also talk about his money and budgeting, or their money and budgeting. And in a roundabout way, Dr. Pepper says that Vincent seems very prideful, and maybe providing is a concern for him, why he is that way about, you know, making money and stuff. And then next...
But I'm still going to need to see that W-2. I'm sorry. I know pride and you worried about it.
And that Experian report and that Equifax.
Yeah, just like
TransUnion.
Just like if you don't want to have kids or you can't have kids, I should know at the beginning of the relationship. If you got bad credit or you don't make what you put on you make, I need to know.
Yeah, it's true. Let's go ahead and compare some documents.
Yeah, I'm not saying that'll be the end all be all, but I'm not gonna get tricked into a situation.
You want to put eyes on it.
I want to know what I'm getting into.
Put some eyes on it. I don't blame you. I don't blame you not one bit. So the next topic that they hit, Brianna and Dr. Pepper, is having kids. And she says that she has high blood pressure and she is worried about the effect it would have on her pregnancy if she gets pregnant, and amongst other concerns that she has for pregnancy.
Thank God you wasn't worried about that.
Yeah, I had high blood pressure, but I wanted my kids too. You know what I mean?
That's the problem.
So, and we get more deeper into this later in the conversation, but what Dr. Pepper tells her, or into the episode, what Dr. Pepper tells her in this scene is to go ahead and talk to Vincent about it now, so he is aware of what her fears are as it relates to pregnancy. And that's pretty much all they had for that scene.
I'm going to get in trouble. So here it is.
Uh-oh.
Say Vincent doesn't work or doesn't make the money he makes. Or if he makes money, good for him. But if, say he doesn't make money, right?
Okay.
Do you think she would have a problem or that she would feel slighted that he... I'm not saying he has to make more than her, but that he wasn't making a continuous amount, a sustained or...
I would think so.
She would feel like he wasn't a provider, right? Because as men, we're supposed to be able to provide.
I know where this is going.
Right?
Yes.
So as men, we're supposed to be able to provide.
That's what the world wants you to believe, yes.
Okay.
That's not everybody's belief.
But most, you believe that to some. If I was able-bodied, but I just wasn't working,
then we ain't together.
Because you want me to be able to provide.
I want somebody who's capable and able. Mm-hmm. And there's no reason why I'm waking up for work and you ain't waking up for work. You just gonna be sitting here looking at me while I'm going to work.
If I hit the lotto and I budget,
talking about lotto.
If I hit the lotto and I budget,
we ain't talking about lotto.
I got you. But what I'm saying is, if I'm not providing, but I have the ability to provide,
like your body works,
yes,
and your brain works fine,
right? You would be angry or you would feel some kind of way. Yeah,
I would not be here. It'd be the Patrick show.
So. Maybe her high blood pressure is really high. It's whatever. But she started out saying the pain and all this. She kind of went to the medical stuff just like Virginia kind of did. So I'm saying if she's saying I don't want to have kids,
versus
I can't.
I
don't want to have kids
because of my fears of this.
Yeah, because it's gonna hurt and mess up my body. Would he be wrong for not wanting to be with her because she's not providing children for him?
That's a good question. You're not going to dig that
I would feel
deep.
some kind of way. I'm going to tell you right now.
We're not going to
dig that. If me and Kamar got together and she told me I don't want to have kids, and I said, why? And she said, because of the pain. I would be like, are you serious?
We're not on that topic.
That is the topic I'm on.
That's not where we're at in this season.
That's where I'm at. With it, fast forward the scene. Go back, edit it, play it back. I'm there. We're here. You wanted Pat? Pat's here now.
You see what happened when y'all free Pat? I can't get a word.
You're with a man, and he's able to work but chooses not to, which impacts you all's life together to where you all can't have some of the things you may have wanted to have. So he's not providing to the fullest of his ability. Mm-hmm. Would you, and do you feel you would have the legs to be upset with that or feel some kind of way about that? And if so, if you are of able body but you choose not to have kids, is a man wrong for choosing not to want to be with you for that fact?
Good questions. Drop your comment in the comment section below. We will dig deeper into this topic in a few scenes. Are you done? Jake goes ahead and meets with Pastor Cal. Jake said he feels like he is just playing by Haley's rule to create a connection with her. Jake says he feels like, or he would like to know what her expectations are of a marriage and of a husband because he just can't figure it out. And Jake says he will try to continue to give their marriage a shot. That was it for him and Pastor Cal. He didn't really receive much. There wasn't much to receive or get from that. Then Haley went to go meet with Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper starts off Haley starts off with positive comments about Jake, saying that he's stable, he has a good career, he has a nice house, he's dependable. She could always call on him if she needs something. And Dr. Pepper tells Haley that she needs to see Dr. Pepper says to Haley that she sees Jake doing a lot of changing, but she don't see Haley making no changes, to try to conform herself to the marriage. And she says to Haley that it sounds like you just want to drop a person into your lifestyle and expect it to work, and that's not how this works. That's literally not how any of this works. Like, you can't just expect someone just to come in and fall in line in your life. Y'all got to create a path together. What you about to say? Because you holding a whole lot in.
She don't like him. Every week is the same thing. Them talking to the doctors reminded me of two boxers in the corners getting talked up by their coach and cut man. Like, you still got a chance. Hit him with the 1-2. Try this. Try that. Watch out for the uppercut. And they're in Jake's corner like, come on, man. You got to keep moving. Move your feet. Swing, jab. And they're like, all right. We got a shot at winning this. We got a shot. And then they get in the middle of the ring and they're both like, bam. Like, no. Y'all ain't gonna make it. Y'all gonna fight.
Imagination is wild.
Somebody's imagination gotta be good, because this show is dull.
It is. It's
same dull. Thing every week with these
and
two.
I'm about to throw in here
him eating meat, her crying over a dude she don't even like, and me having to watch it. Ugh.
So back to what I said about Dr. Pepper saying that's not how any of this works. She gets jammed up in this conversation, Haley does, and she begins to let the waterworks flow. She starts the crying and the tearing and the bawling, and it's just like, oh, Lord, here it comes. And she says that she's crying because she thinks that this marriage is a failure, and Dr. Pepper says, how can this marriage be a failure if it ain't over yet? Like, you can still try. And then insert Patrick's idea of a boxing ring. And the two boxers.
They gonna go right back and fight because Jake want to put it down, and she's not feeling him because she don't like him.
She don't.
And what does she care if it's a failed marriage? It was never a started marriage.
Yeah, you guys didn't really get off onto any kind of foot with each other. So that's that for that scene. I'm moving on. I'm not spending too much energy on them. I don't feel good. Let's move on.
Final scene.
The last few scenes of this episode show Vincent returning home from speaking with the experts. Brianna tells him about her combo that she discussed with Dr. Pepper. She discussed his spending habits and cutting costs on date nights. And Vincent said that he has been there, done that on, spending lots of money, and he wants to be more strategic on how he spends his money, because he would like to now start saving money. Get to a point where he's not just blowing money. That's just where he's at with it. And she's just like, well, we make good money and I want to be able to enjoy the money I make.
All right.
That was his whole energy right there. So literally, that's all he had. So then they moved on to sleeping in and coming to a compromise on him sleeping in. So he's like, so what's your compromise? And she's like, you mean what's our compromise? And he was like, okay, then what's our compromise then? She was like, when you go to sleep in the daytime, or when you go to sleep
when you wake up early.
When you wake up early. I'm getting loopy. When you
what kind of medicine you took?
I don't know. So when you wake up early, you can be more productive in the day. But our compromise can be you can just go to bed early and then wake up even earlier. And he's looking at her like, and she's like, and then also you got to consider when you be coming to bed, you be on your phone, and that keeps your mind more awake. And I'm like, listen, what you ain't going to do is take away my little bit of me time to look through Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, and then research anything that I think I might want to look up before I go to sleep and be doing a whole bunch of stuff. That's not what you're going to do.
These people funny.
I would love to be here telling you to go ahead and put your phone away. So you can let your brain rest, because it got your brain going too much because you're looking at TikTok too much or Facebook. Like, if that's
just so I can wake up to be with you when you're up early. You see, Shane, it wasn't like,
what do we got to do? Like, what are we doing here? You just want me to put my phone away, go to bed early. Like, I am not your child. You can't put a bedtime, schedule on me.
That's gonna be it. All right, and what was the third?
Oh, and then the next thing they talked about was her being afraid of having kids. We are now here at this topic. And she's saying she's afraid of the pain, the fluids, and how it changes your body and all this other stuff. And Vincent is giving her the, like, if an excuse was a person look. He was just looking at her with everything. Because let me tell you what, Brianna. Yes, the idea of pushing a whole other human out of your body is like out of insane. It's an insane thought to have. But let me tell you something.
She can't see out of herself.
Oh my gosh, she has tunnel vision. They will give you all kinds of drugs and medication at the hospital that are legal. As soon as you get that contraction, they're gonna come in there with that epidural, and you're gonna be like, right here.
Get it.
Right here.
And they're gonna be like, that's how you got in this position.
You don't have to worry, mama, that it's gonna hurt, because you will feel no pain by the time they're done with you in the hospital if you get there in time.
Yeah, you let me say this.
What do you want to say?
People need to realize, and I'll be real quick.
Okay, be fast with it.
They get self-worth mixed up with are you worth it? And what I mean by that, this is what you're asking this man to deal with right now. In this episode, I want you to go out and take me on date nights and spend a lot of money on me.
Okay, here you go. One.
But I want you to wake up early with me for no reason, just because I want you to, and I think you'll be more productive, even though you're showing me you don't want to wake up early.
Yes.
And I'm going to choose not to give you a child.
Just because it's a want and not a cannot.
Yeah. So those 3 things you have to put up with. Well, guess what? To Vince and to me, you're not worth it.
Like,
you're not worth what I have to give up to be with you. And that's okay. Like, people need to be okay with that too. There's things that you have to put up with to be with me.
Yes.
And it was worth it to you to put up with those things to be with me.
And I'm here.
But I let you know what those things were. You know what I mean? I didn't hide those. I didn't pop them up on you.
You allowed me to make my informed decision.
Yeah. And she's something else. You're not worth it.
If his face,
what are you offering?
Could tell a story. He's so pissed. He started pulling on that hat. He started putting his hand on here. He didn't know what to do. He started getting so pissed.
And I told you I wanted 4 kids. You know it's important I wanted 4 kids.
Right. Yeah.
And you telling me you don't want to have kids?
He wanted kids because he felt like he didn't get an opportunity for himself to
have a
good
family. Yeah, and you gonna take that away because you choose to?
Because of pain.
And then you're gonna try to backdoor it with a medical excuse because you know you can't fight it like this.
And a medical excuse that really don't weigh a lot to me, because yes, high blood pressure is important and it does have a strong impact on pregnancy.
Leave a Vince.
But however, there is medication that can combat these things. Speaking from someone who had preeclampsia when they were pregnant due to my high blood pressure, I was just on bed rest, and you just do things to regulate and have a healthy pregnancy. It's not like this is something that will stop you from being pregnant.
She's selfish.
Yes.
That's where the bossiness comes from, because she's selfish.
Yeah.
Same reason she can't look outside of herself to look at it as bringing life into the world.
Yeah.
She can only look at it as pain to herself.
Yeah, and
she can't look at it as she's taking away exactly what he wants from life.
He wants to bring joy into this world, and she wants to keep her
I was wrong.
From changing.
I don't like her no more.
This kind of gave me the side eye on you, Brianna. Like, your arguments for wanting to want what you want don't stand up.
No, they're fine. You can want kids all day. But then don't be with somebody who has expressed that he wants kids.
And don't give weak excuses as to why you don't want the kids. Because the fluids.
She's whack.
The fluids.
Her and Ryan need to get together. She don't want kids. He's never going to do anything to give you kids. Y'all can live happily ever after forever.
And that was not the end of episode 12. I'm sorry. I'm not 12. I'm in episode 12. Yeah. I need to hurry up and lay down.
Jacob,
I'm sorry.
Want to lay it down?
Yeah, I'm tripping. And Haley?
Clara
needs
to be laid down. They need a swap.
Wife swap. Wasn't that a show?
Wife swap, yep.
All right, let's move on to the last final scenes, because I'm about to tell y'all everything that ain't really happening, because I'm getting real loopy. let's wrap it up. Last scene of this episode shows Jake returning from speaking with the experts, and he gets home to talk to Haley. And taking Dr. Pepper's advice, Haley decides to start questioning Jake on his past and his childhood, just to get to know him more. She's trying to make an attempt to get to know him, and she asked him exactly what happened in the last 10 years. Why you haven't really expressed to me what went down. And he was like, well, the last 10 years were especially dull because I, at that point, am trying to find a wife, and all of my friends that I had connections with, they started to branch off and get married and have families of their own. So there's really nothing to tell. Like, I've just kind of resorted to myself and I retreated to myself, and I don't have nothing to share. That's why I'm here, married at first sight.
I have the personality of a stick, so I couldn't meet new people. So I just, as they left, I couldn't replace them. Now it's me, my neon signs, my fanny packs, and my pool.
So I guess that made her feel happy that she's starting to figure him out a little bit. And they both say that they do want to continue to make it work. They say this in every episode. They want to continue to make it work. And bet money, watch we get to decision day, they both say
ding,
no.
And ding, ding, round 7, and they walk out and they fight again. Next episode, they're going to be fighting.
And that is the end of episode 13, y'all.
Thank God.
My eyes feel like they're about to fall out my head. I need to lay down. What do you think about episode 13? Do you think that this was a good episode? Do you think that this answered all of your questions? If so, it sounds like a therapist or something. Drop your comments in the comment section below. We love hearing from you. Let us know what you thought about this episode. Also, please be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button to support our channel. We are growing crazily, and it's all thanks to you guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Crazily.
Is that a word?
I don't know.
I don't know neither. But we really thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next Friday. Thank you. And we will see you next Friday in another episode. Bye, you guys.
Deuces.
All right. Ciao.